be okay if I showed you something bad?
All righty.
How's it
Okay.
going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. There's a lot of blood on the wall behind you.
Oh yeah, scary. I have to say, I am absolutely honored to be talking with you about Walden because
Oh,
I'm a huge fan,
well,
especially
thank you. Thank you.
Parkman. Parkman. That's all I gotta say.
Parkman. Yeah, man. Somebody asked me that the other day. You know, this guy that was working at my house, he asked me about it. No. I was buying a Christmas tree. And one of the guys at the store recognized me from Parkman, and he was going crazy about it. I love it when people know that.
Yeah, funny. I'll say this before we talk about the movie quickly. My brothers saw you at a Yankees game like years ago, and they recognized you and they yelled out Parkman, Parkman, and you actually turned around and saw them, and you had this big smile on your face because you noticed that too. So I thought that's like so it's a small world at this point.
Yeah,
But
man.
but Walden was a great movie. I loved the story, and I loved that it was this unlikely character. But one thing that really surprised me was your role in the film because I always seen you play tough guys, but here you are playing probably the most gentle guy in the entire movie. So kudos to you on that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he's comfortable. The judge is comfortable in his power. It's like effortless power. He's been at it so long. He's been in the top guy in town for so long, and he was born into it. And that comfortable power was the core of the characterization that I played. Core of that character.
That's amazing. So what was it like working with director Mick Davis? Because I heard he gave like a lot of you guys free reign on how to bring your characters to life.
Yeah, working with Mick was great. We went through a pass where I suggested some small line changes in my dialogue in places, and he was cool with that. But once we got started shooting, it was guerrilla warfare. I mean, it was not warfare, but he wanted to do a ton of camera setups. We didn't have a ton of time, so it was blitzkrieg. We were moving so fast and getting maybe 2 takes, maybe 3 if you're lucky, and then he's moving on to another setup in the same scene. So it was his ambition. He had a very ambitious shot list, and getting that done meant that everybody had to be up on their lines, ready to go, and be performance ready at first rehearsal.
Oh wow, that's pretty wild. And what I really liked was your scenes with Emile because you brought this gentle, fatherly like figure to him, especially in the little coffee house scenes, where you
Yeah.
just like chatted up to him, and it just seems like you were your character is this great dad figure to him. And Emile, I've been telling other people this is one of the best roles he's ever done because this is something you've never seen from him. He plays
Yeah.
this like really nerdy type character, and then
Yeah.
ultimately gets. What was it like with Emile?
And he's nothing close to a nerd in real life. So working with Emile, first I'll talk about off camera. He's funny, he's smart as hell, he brings a lot. He's always got the energy of the creativity is always flowing about the coming scenes or the dialogue, and it's fun to work with that way. And then he sits down behind the stenograph and he turns into a different human.
Wow.
Pretty amazing.
That is. And it must have been, I mean, it must be great, like to have all these young stars, like, because you've done movies for so many years and you've had these fantastic roles. They must have looked up to you as they were making this film. They were all like, they must have been all excited as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, when you're a seasoned, which is the word I like to use, when you're a seasoned veteran of the film industry, it's nice the respect you get from younger actors. It really is, it's flattering, and it's the nice part of growing older.
Yeah. And but what I really liked the fact was that Emile's character, we find that he has this dilemma and then he decides to, it's kind of like a last wish for him to like stop these acquitted criminals. And I think that was one of the most insane things about the film, like how he went about it, going to great lengths to just punish these guys who obviously were guilty, but they get off on these technicalities. And
Yeah.
and that, like, what was, like, how do you feel about that with the story? It must have been like great to like.
Well, I mean, of course, everyone loves a good revenge story, and they're always going to love somebody who kind of goes around the technicality that an evil person got off on, and goes around that, and it exacts the justice. But I do also think we need to keep it in the movies and not in society.
In real life. I totally agree on that as well. But yeah, because it works better in the movies too. It brings more of a. I think it's more of an effect in the movies, and
Yeah,
in real
watching
life,
watching it, you're able to get that, get your yayas out when you want to, because the actor that you hate is being tortured and killed by the actor that you like. So,
yeah, or the characters in this case, no, exactly. And what would you say was your favorite scene to shoot in the film?
oh, for sure, the scene that I have with Emile that's quite long, where we're just face to face over the deck. I can't say much more about that scene, but because of spoilers. But that was definitely the most fun that night.
That's amazing. That's great. Overall, man, I mean, this was such a great movie, and I loved, like, everyone was great in it. I mean, Shane, Kelly, Tanya, and Emile, they just did such a fantastic job in this film. And to hear that it was chaotic because you had all this limited time, I mean, I could just imagine.
I wouldn't. It's not that it was chaotic like he wasn't organized. It was chaotic because there was so much to do in a 12 or 14-hour day. We just had to slam and jam. So, actors, it's good that all the actors were pros and really knew what they were doing, because everybody was ready, spot on. And, it was, the team was a great team. And
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
like, yeah.
And I like the fact that Mick was willing to work with you guys, because there are directors out there, they're like, they have this iron fist. They tell you, you got to do it this way. Well, I always like when filmmakers ask for the actors' inputs in their characters. I think that's very important, because that's the real meaning for me of a collaboration.
Yep, exactly.
And like I said, Mick did a great job on this, and you all did. So with that said, with Walden now in the can, what's next for you? Do you have any new projects that you can talk about?
Yeah, I play the villain and creative executive producer for our next movie, our company in Georgia's next movie, called Degenerate. It's a poker movie about degenerate gamblers. I'm the bad guy, and Emile is the good guy. He's the star of the movie.
Back together.
Back together again. Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
We're in post-production now, so hopefully a release date in 2024.
That's awesome. Oh, it's gonna be great to seeing you as a badass again. I'll say that, because I'm always gonna remember you as this actor who always has these badass roles. So it was great to see you in this movie doing something different like that we're used to, and now we get to see you revert back to that, and it'll be great to see Emile again. Actually, it's gonna be great to see both of you together again in the same movie. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, me too.
That's awesome. So Walden will be out on December 12th. It's now in select theaters, but it's coming to digital and on demand on December 12th. I've said this numerous times. This is one of Emile Hirsch's best roles. And I gotta say, David, you did an amazing job on this film. And I just felt absolutely honored to talk to you about it.
Well, thank you very much. That's kind words.
And I'm looking forward to Degenerates. When that's read and that comes out, I definitely gonna look out for that.
Cool, man.
All right. You take care. You have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.